Hey, Daryl here, and this is my daily devotional. It's interesting to me that Scripture is not blind to the beauty of a person. In fact, in this chapter, 1 Samuel chapter 25, a lady named Abigail is described as being intelligent and beautiful. She was married to a man named Nabal. Nabal is described as a ruthless, wicked, mean man. In fact, she says that his name means fool. So we have a beautiful woman, intelligent woman, married to a fool. Now, just a side note, I've seen that many times in our lives where a beautiful, intelligent woman's married to a fool. But with that said, David is nearby, needing provisions, knows of this wealthy man named Nabal, sends his servants, asks for provisions. He says no. He says, who is this David? Who is this son of Jesse? How do I know that you're not just some wild person who is trying to escape his master? No, you're not getting any provisions from me. Well, David is aggravated by this. And so he says, I have protected your sheep herders while they were in our area. I didn't hurt or harm any of them. And now you refuse us provision help. And so he said, boys, let's strap on our swords. Let's go and wipe them out. Now, on the surface, this seems to me a little ruthless on David's part. It seems like he's being a little vigilante kind of guy, just going back because he's insulted because his fellow won't help him with his provisions. But what's said about this is the lady Abigail gets word that he had refused the servants of David. He had insulted them. She got word that David is on his way to annihilate his people, to annihilate her husband Nabal. And so she gathers together all these provisions and puts them on a donkey and goes to try to meet and head him off at the pass so maybe he'll have mercy. Verse 18 of 1 Samuel 25. Abigail lost no time. She took 200 loaves of bread, 2 skins of wine, 5 dressed sheep, 5 seahs of roasted grain, 100 cakes of raisins, and 200 cakes of pressed fig, and loaded them on a donkey. And she told her servants, go on ahead, I'll follow you. But she did not tell her husband Nabal. Well, she meets him as David and his men, 400 of them, are on their way to battle. Angry, they've been insulted. She pauses. He stops. She explains. Don't blame him. It's all my fault. Abigail tries to take the blame on herself. Verse 23. When Abigail saw David, she quickly got off her donkey and bowed down before David with her face to the ground. She fell at his feet and said, my lord, let the blame be on me alone. Please let your servant speak to you. Hear what your servant has to say. May my Lord pay no attention to that wicked man Nabal. He is just like his name. His name is fool. He is just like his name, and folly goes with him. But as for me, your servant, I did not see the men my master sent. And so she is saying, I didn't see the ones that you sent to find provisions. And so David says, okay, fine. I will not go and kill your husband. And so when she goes back, Abigail went to Nabal. He was in the house holding a banquet like that of a king. He was in high spirits and very drunk. Then the morning came. He was sober. She was going to tell him what all he had done. But it says here, about 10 days later, the Lord struck him dead. God still was with David and struck this man dead. Well, what does David do? David sent word to Abigail asking her to become his wife. Yes, even Scripture and David's eyes are not blind to an intelligent, beautiful woman. His servant went to Carmel and said to Abigail, David has sent us to you to take you to become his wife. David now has 3 wives, even though Saul has given Michal to someone else because didn't think that David was coming back. But eventually he'll get Michal back too. And so we've got this polygamy thing going on in David's life with at least 3 wives at this time. So, why does God allow this polygamy? Do you know that Scripture never once says, thou shalt not have only one wife? Yes, the New Testament and all the examples of marriage, instructions of marriage is all singular. But you know that it was the Roman Empire, and when Alexander the Great brought that custom into the Middle East, into the Holy Land, into Jerusalem, that's where monogamy came from. It's just an interesting thought. God bless you. Good day.